From groomers to game developers, like they're not the same thing, in today's video I want to go over Deepwoken's forgotten YouTubers, people who used to make content on Deepwoken, but quit either due to controversy, boredom, or to pursue different endeavors. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe, since basically nobody is, and along with that, my face reveal is dropping this Saturday on the live channel at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, new song cover for YouTube members soon, so if you want to hear my song covers, buy any tier membership, and you can hear all of them every month. Now let's get straight into it. Starting with one of the most infamous, Lord Sendo. Lord Sendo got exposed for doing some weird things, but none of it was actually as bad as it initially sounded and how it was exposed. Lord Sendo essentially got exposed for e-dating. However, the problem with that is that when it was exposed, people actively lied about the ages of him and the girl who he was e-dating with, and this caused it to spiral into a large controversy, which even after being cleared up, still resulted in a lot of people harassing him just for e-dating because they thought he was weird, with many people saying Lord Sendo was 19 e-dating a 14-year-old girl. However, at the time, he was 17, and the girl he was e-dating never said she was 14 because she was also 17. They were the same age. And the reason why this entire thing got out was actually because of exploiters. Back when Lord Sendo was a bigger name in the community, he made a joke. The validity of it being a joke is questionable, but essentially him and his e-girlfriend were kind of flirting in-game, and an exploiter who just happened to be in the server had global chat logs, so he screenshotted it and leaked it. The guy who did this got banned to do this, by the way, which is insane, but it's honestly kind of insane how far he went just to expose Lord Sendo for e-dating. Then, soon after all the harassment, people would then start more controversies, saying that he accepted black-marketed enchants from DoSmall, who's the scumbag old COO of the Roblox group Do Big Games, which I made a video on a while back, and the guy who turned the original Deepwoken trading hub into a black market server. If you want to know more about that, then go watch that video, but that's not for this. People were basically just saying that he was taking black-marketed enchants from him or giving enchants to him for black marketing to make some money off of it, but he never did any of that either, and there was no proof of it. The harassment ended up being too much, as he would resign from the Deepwoken moderation team, which he was added to sometime earlier the first year of Deepwoken's release, and then he'd go on to rebrand his YouTube channel as Mr. Moonlight, while keeping all of his old videos up with some comments disabled. For a while he actually came back and started doing content on the game Pilgrimed, but then he quit again when people kind of found him, and then he quit again and came back where he was doing development stuff, and now he's just gone again. Now he's doing solo development stuff and is apparently a Kalshi-sponsored Kalshi trader made to shill gambling, and he was a VTuber for a while who would stream non-Deepwoken stuff, but I actually can't find any of his Kalshi trading stuff anymore. Even though I remember going through a rabbit hole of it like a year ago, and how he turned $10,000 into $100,000 on Kalshi. Not sure if that was real. I know he had a code for it though, so it might have not been real. Regardless, Lord Sendo is probably the least justified person to leave the Deepwoken community out of all the people who are harassed out of it. Most of his harassment was pretty unjustified, seeing as how both of the controversies he was involved in were both exaggerated and or lied about, but in the end he left due to all of the harassment. The next person is an even more infamous figure, Rom. So the reason he disappeared is a pretty long story. Essentially, a Discord, maybe, e-girl, maybe, probably baiting guy, was DMing basically every Deepwoken YouTuber at the time. In fact, I even got a few DMs from them at some point, but I kind of forgot about it until the controversy came up because I was egoing them, as I often do when I get parasocial DMs from people on Discord asking me to be their friend. Anyway, the Discord e-girl told Rom that she was 16. Rom at the time was 23. However, because the age of consent in the United Kingdom is 16, he went for it anyway because while it's immoral, it's technically not illegal over there. Still weird. The age-baiting Discord e-girl eventually got close enough to him to have e-sex with him, and they had a little e-datey relationship. Not sure how people do that, but it's whatever. And soon after, they'd tell Rom that they were actually like 14, which was a lie. Now, he blocked them because it was now illegal, and, you know, the person who was doing it only decreased their age because what they were trying to do in the first place was make Deepwoken YouTubers look bad, so they wanted to make it look even worse than it actually was. But yeah, Rom ended up blocking them because it was 16 to 14. Oh, now it's illegal. Still weird, bro. Should have blocked her at 16. And in response, she leaked everything. And was also probably a he, I'm not entirely sure, but this person's entire motive was just to try to age bait as many Deepwoken YouTubers as possible. And due to this, he ended up making a video response, which was essentially a video where he stood at a coast, like by the beach in the United Kingdom somewhere, and gave this whole like badass ass speech about how everything was going on, but it wasn't illegal. I'm not even joking. This video was like on the same level as EDP's whole documentary trailer that was trying to like frame him as being so cool and badass. It's the same. It's literally the same. He was doing that. He was unironically doing that before EDP. EDP took inspiration from ROM. But no, it's not illegal, blah, 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 right? And no shade to Valakis or Supa, but for some reason, I believe it was more so Supa, but they were kind of defending him a little bit because it's not illegal. Now, I get that they were both young at the time comparatively, because they're both younger than ROM. It is not morally right for a 23-year-old to date a 16-year-old. I don't care if it's not illegal. I think he still shouldn't have done it regardless. And this didn't end very well for ROM, with him getting doxxed to the point where he lost his job in real life over it. People found out his place of employment, contacted his boss, and told him he was dating a 16-year-old, and his boss fired him. He lost his Lightborn, probably even worse than getting fired from your job, and then he quit YouTube, deleting every single video he has. I don't think he deserved to get doxxed over it, but bro, you weird. Then we have Valakis. I love you, Valakis, one of my favorites. But Valakis did not leave due to controversy. Valakis simply left to benefit himself. Valakis used to be a Deepwoken and Deepwoken-esque video creator. Valakis actually still has his old Rogue Lineage videos up, but he played pretty much all the anime games back then. So he played Rogue Lineage, he played Deepwoken, and pretty much everything in between, like Naruto games, One Piece games, stuff like that. Maybe not much One Piece, but anime games in general. Kind of like the stuff that I do, except he did more gameplay while I do more commentary. But Valakis has always been a pretty ambitious man, whether it be his old music career or his content switch up. And at some point, Valakis entirely quit Deepwoken, which was during the first dry age of Deepwoken a year or two ago, I think, and started first by making shorts for games like The Strongest Battlegrounds. And at that point, his channel started to explode on the algorithm for kids content, and then he pretty recently started to make more long-form videos than he was a few months ago, so great for him. And today, he has 911,000 subscribers. My boy made it out the trenches. Even if it's kids content, I'm still happy for him, so he's actually the #1 most successful YouTuber to come out of Deepwoken at this point. And honestly, good for you, Valakis. I'm happy you're doing well. Then we have Burbingish. I'm sure all of you know him. Despite having some of the biggest Deepwoken videos out on the platform, Burbingish seemingly randomly disappeared at the height of his popularity. But why? Well, he actually went camping a few years ago at this point, or maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, I don't remember exactly when. It was around the time that his last video came out, and while he was camping, he actually got eaten and torn apart by coyotes. No, I'm joking. He just got busy and bored. Like, that's actually it. He got bored and busy, so he's mainly been solo developing stuff, but not much else. And now he's just kind of gone. He might come back for layer 3 or major updates if they interest him, but he kind of just got bored, so he left. And then there was Always AFK, who quit for a similar reason to the next entry, which is pretty much just really bad burnout and a dislike for both YouTube and Deepwoken and Roblox as a whole. Always AFK used to speedrun Deepwoken a lot. He would speedrun stuff like layer 2 and W rank and all that, or he'd progress builds and stuff like that. And he used to do videos with Supa and a few other people, like either speedrunning or progression, but he just kind of got burnt out of speedrunning and progressing all the time, and he was upset that Deepwoken really didn't have much to offer at that point, because I mean the game's been pretty much the same content-wise for the last couple of years, and he also just really didn't like how YouTube as a whole started to favor short-form content over like long-form content, which meant that more slop was getting pushed out onto the platform, which meant his videos weren't doing as well as he thinks they deserve to. And honestly, yeah, he's right. I think that his videos definitely deserve to do better than they did at some points in time, and it's part of why he quit. And speaking of burnout, Supa. Supa's probably the second most successful game developer on this video and list. Supa quit Deepwoken for 2 reasons. One, he was getting very burnt out from doing near daily progressions, and I do not blame him. I couldn't prog a build a day. I couldn't prog a build a year now. Like, I haven't progressed a build since my Ice Rapier build that you guys are always judging me for. Which, by the way, that build, some people are like, oh, but you play Deepwoken so much. I have 33 hours on that build, and I've had it for like 3 years, so let's chill, okay? Anyway, I don't really blame him. I couldn't prog a build a day now without wanting to explode, and he was doing this years ago when the progression took way longer, spending like 4 hours a day on progressions at minimum to make videos, and over time he got burnt out because that's like 6 to 8 hours a day just making a video. Because he was uploading every day or every other day, he was uploading near daily, and if you're playing the game for 4 hours to progress, then that means your editing is going to take at least 4 hours because you have to watch back your own footage while editing. I mean, I guess you could put it in like fast forward and maybe maybe do it in 3, but that's not honestly that great. Either way, he's spending at least 6 to 7 hours editing and making videos a day, and that sucks because Supa did edit his own videos, I believe, and over time he just got burnt out. Along with that, he also started learning Lua and Roblox development, and he eventually ended up making a few viral Roblox games that profited him a lot, which were pretty funny, like that one SpongeBob game he made. But the last time Supa actually played the game and made content was when Valve Iron came out, and he literally marathoned it for like 20 hours straight. So he took a year break from Deepwoken after being burned out to come back and burn himself out. Now that's dedication. Love you, Supa. Next up is Edgar. Edgar was the most successful Deepwoken YouTuber who never made an ounce of content. Edgar posted 437 videos under the Daily Dose of Deepwoken series, and over time people just started to dislike him more and more. Every day he'd upload a clip video on his series, The Daily Dose of Deepwoken, and it really seemed like he would just try to get every video to 8 minutes for monetization without any real effort involved. Like you guys might notice, but I don't have a single video under 8 minutes in probably like the last year or two, but that's not because I'm stretching out my videos by having unnecessarily long intros or putting random clips at the end. That's just because I script all of my videos and have actual high quality writing skills capable of carrying a topic for a multiple page essay. Like actually, some people say that I'm lazy with my content. I write a 3,000 word essay per video. Fuck you. And I hate when dumbasses in my comments ask if I use AI to write these. Fuck you too. That's my 2 F words for the video. Sorry, off topic. Anyway, Edgar would do stuff like have crazy drawn out intros where he'd be like talking super slowly for like 30 seconds, and then when the video is only like 7 minutes long, he'd put random TikTok clips that weren't even related to Deepwoken. They'd just be like random popular clips. It'd be like an XQC clip or something at the end of his videos. So he'd hit 8 minutes long, and he'd be like 8 minutes and 1 second per video. And the only real content he himself did was farming Primadon on stream, which caused people to hate him even more because he'd get 20 people to do Primadon with him and carry him in a server, but if you touched any of the loot before he could, and he'd just call the entire server to jump you and he'd try and get you wiped. My personal favorite Edgar moment is when he was streaming on Valentine's Day farming Primadon, and throughout the entire stream before he ended, you could see his girlfriend in the back on his bed just scrolling through her phone like super bored. I really hope I can find the image, but it's so old I'm not sure if I will. Another funny thing was the whole Edgar Uchiha stuff. So you guys know how I was talking about how he did long drawn out intros? When the original Deepwoken trading server got turned into a black market, Edgar tried creating another Deepwoken trading server to compete with mine. So he made this super long drawn out video intro where he'd call himself Edgar Uchiha and ask people to join the Discord for his trading server while pretending to be a Naruto character. I'll just let it play for a bit.
My name is Edgar Uchiha, and I'm bringing back Deepwoken trading under my wing, Uchiha style. So if you were in it before and want to be in an actual good server that's run by competent people, with middlemen that are known and reputable in the Deepwoken community, join up and spread the word. And also, if you want free Robux, join Deepwoken Trading. We do giveaways frequently. So yeah, thank you guys if you're interested in a reliable trading Discord backed by me, Edgar Uchiha.
Yeah, that's about it. But people really just got tired of his shit. Like, there were even comments on his videos, and they'd be like, if I see this intro again, I'm about to stop watching your video. It's like, he was losing subscribers over a 30-second intro. And I guess he just got bored because, I mean, he didn't even edit his own videos. He'd pay other people like minimum, or well, below minimum wage to edit these videos for him. And then he'd just upload one a day made by other people, pretty much, of other people's clips. And he really didn't make his own content. And he got bored of just like having to upload them, I guess, because that's all the effort he did. He would upload it, he'd put the title, he'd put the thumbnail, he'd copy the same description and tags. And he just got tired of it. He was like, all right, it's not worth the $50 I'm making off of this, you know? And then we have Agamatsu, aka Amagusto, aka Eulis, aka I'm not gonna say any more names. Although not really having quit from YouTube or Deepwoken, Agamatsu basically got a promotion. Now that he leads the development team for Deepwoken, he no longer has as much time for content creation, so now he pretty rarely uploads. But he still does occasionally stream in his old format, just now with a new perspective given the fact that he owns the game. So while he didn't really quit, he definitely doesn't upload at the same level of consistency as he used to, now that he's kind of, you know, spending all of his time scripting for Deepwoken, trying to get those big updates out, blah blah blah, you know how it is. And that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe and check me out over at Raycon Live, where I'll be face revealing this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or somewhere time around there. And new song cover for YouTube members soon, so if you want to hear them, buy any membership tier. And shout out to my YouTube members of tier 2 or higher: Philip, Akiosugi Kuni, Zerksky, Fun Guns, Crypto, Broccoli, Delusional Mo, Suited Wendigo, love you, mwah, Silos, Bunny Masher, Freshie, Theo's Banners, Corin, Captain Frost, Jaywa, and Drizzy Drake Fan. If I missed any other gone YouTubers, let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe I'll make a part 2. I hope I don't have to, but I might. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and goodbye.